And WNST friends at Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. Make sure you're downloading that Royal Farms app. You're going to get $10 off 50 pieces of chicken on Sunday for the big game. Sylvia Mackey is here. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
You look lovely, and your earrings didn't work with the
with the headphones.
headset.
No, they didn't.
If I could clip these onto the headphones, we would do that. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
It's so good to
Thank
see you. You brought a friend with you. I want to pronounce your name, Samantha Powell Buono.
Correct. Buono.
Buono. It is the After the Impact Fund ATIF Family Impact. I tell you what. I was very impacted by your husband many, many times. He was a guest on my program when he was doing very well. It's 27 years now doing this. He was a guest on my program when he wasn't doing well.
Okay.
And I remember one night when things got a little off at an Ed Block event on a Monday night. They had a band out, and he took to the drum riser. And I was the only one. The Ed Block people sent me up to take this mammoth man, this gigantic man who my dad loved so much as a Colt, and I had to somehow calm him down. My wife's nodding. She remembers the night that I got John off the drum riser. Paul Lamantia thinks I saved the Ed Block Foundation that night because we thought John was going to kick the drums over, and we thought he was going to keep
that.
I remember from The Who. Remember? We thought, yeah.
He thought he could join in any band and play the drums.
And we laugh about it now because we can, but this is a devastating thing that you live with and dealt with. And my dad had dementia, passed in 1992, and my mom, I watched my mom struggle. My mom lived another 25 years. I hope you live another 100 years.
Thank you.
But I think everyone in Baltimore knows John's story, and now here comes your advocacy to make sure there's not another Sylvia like you who's a football widow, correct?
Absolutely. And
so I told the whole story. There it is. Right? What are we trying to do here today? Give me a message for our people.
I'm trying to let the other wives know that when they have any questions, they have some place to turn. We have a range of topics that we talk about. We have a website that they can consult that's just for the women. And the families to answer a question for caregivers. Sure. For example, I had a call a couple of years ago. A wife was in Wyoming. She said, I've got my husband here in the car, and I need to take him somewhere, and I don't know what to do.
That was you.
And she called me.
But that
because
was
of the 88
you
plan.
You had the same problem.
Yes.
When did it really resonate with you that John was in trouble? Early on?
Gosh, there were so many turning points, but there's always one main turning point. When you hear him on the telephone tell somebody seriously, I don't have a sister, I never had a sister. And you know by the way he's saying it.
He believes it.
That he believes it. So, but you still kind of let it go, and then you let things add up. And one day he came back in.
Right?
Denial.
Sure.
You're in denial. You're in first creative denial. You're trying to make up reasons that he's acting strange. Then you're in denial that anything could be really wrong.
And you're trying to help him.
And you're trying to help him at the same time. And sometimes you're angry when somebody else will say to you, I think John has Alzheimer's, and I got angry with that person. But then you start to think about it, and the reality sets in. One day he thought he had his car repossessed, and we don't do that in our family. We pay everything. I heard him come in and say to somebody on the phone, my car is gone. He said, but I remember I donated it to charity. Picked up the phone to call somebody to tell them that.
Well, I mean, I can only imagine the horrors you've been through. The idea now is this is going to happen to someone else, and they need an 88 to turn to, and that's what your plan is. Tell everybody where to find her. Samantha, give me you're the daughter of Mike Pyle, who also suffered, so I don't want to portray you as not one of the survivors of all of this, but I'm seeing more of this. I'm 50, and a couple of players that I've known who wore a Raven helmet, 22 years now. I'm seeing some problems, and amongst teammates, and everybody's trying to rally around these people. And I don't know that the system had that a quarter of a century ago when you needed it, Sylvia.
No.
They didn't have it when we were suffering with my father either. I'm here to represent the daughters because it's not just the wives who are the caretakers. There are daughters, there are sons, there are other family members who are the caretakers. And we're also here because this is not just happening to the football community.
Sure.
This is happening
PTSD?
to military vets, and it's happening to all other contact sports. And so we wanted to put together a family impact forum where wives and caregivers and daughters could go to and find the resources that Sylvia and I did not have when we were navigating the system when John and my father were suffering.
Well, you can find it all at aftertheimpactfund.org. Aftertheimpactfund.org. Mike Dick has been a part of this. Dan Reeves has been a part of this. A lot of military, including our dear friend Matt Burke.
He's on our board, yes.
Matt was over with Luke promoting this fund here this week. He was going to take me for pizza tonight, but then he did me dirty, Burke. So I'm gonna throw him a text. I thought I was in his hometown, but I want to help her. After the Impact Fund, the Family Impact Forum, and Sylvia Mackey here, Samantha Powell, Buono. Where's home for you these days?
California, Southern California.
Is she lucky? When we're going back to Baltimore, it's 20 degrees.
That's okay.
What the hell is going on up here? It's minus 10.
It's warmer than here.
What did we go to the North Pole?
I'm a Chicago girl. This is nice.
Oh, come on now. Maybe nice if you're, I don't know, a polar bear or something like that, an Eskimo. But, Sylvia, I'm going to see you back in Baltimore. You look great. You
Thank you.
Like
I feel wonderful. And I'm back in the city when the year that John got inducted into the Hall of Fame was 1992, right here in Minneapolis. Right.
I was here too.
Okay, and they announced it, of course, halftime. But when we got back to our hotel room, the desk called up and said, "Mr. Mackey, you have so many messages that we need to bring up a pile of telex printouts. Wasn't computer then,
that
right?
Beautiful thing.
Yeah." And he said, "Why? What happened?" She said, "You've been indicted." He said, and I heard him say, "Indicted." And I turned white. I said, "Indicted? What happened?" And then she said, "Oh, you've been indicted into the Hall of Fame." And he just went, "Oh, my God, what a relief." And he knew that, but he couldn't imagine all those messages by the time we got back from the game waiting for him. But I'll never forget that moment.
That's a beautiful story.
Isn't that
here
funny?
Hey, enjoy the weekend, okay?
Thank you.
I'm so glad to see you. Sometimes I wonder how. Literally, I don't know if we have a ton of mutual friends. I'm sure I could find you, but I'm glad when they said you were coming to me this week. I said, "Bring Sylvia over here."
Thank you so much.
I love John. Loved me. He always all those guys, man. That's my heart.
Thank you.
Sylvia Mackey joining us here after the ImpactFund.org. Come see us. Howard Bank. It's all brought to you by them and Royal Farms. Real fresh, real fast, as well as the Maryland Jockey Club. I am Nestor. We're on Radio Row for all things Super Bowl 52. We're in Minnesota, freezing our tails off. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST.net, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.